Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare Lincoln wheat penny coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today, we've got a fascinating story for you, and trust me, this one is bound to get you excited about the value hidden in your coin collection. Have you ever heard of the legendary 1945 wheat penny? That's right, the iconic 1-cent coin featuring the beloved wheat stalk design, one of the most well-known and cherished coins in U.S. history. But here's the twist, this isn't your average penny. The 1945 wheat penny holds secrets that could make it worth a small fortune. Let's take a trip back to 1945. The world was in the midst of World War II, and the United States was gearing up for the end of a conflict that would shape the future. The economy was in a recovery phase, and the country was doing everything it could to rebuild and move forward. This was the year when the wheat penny was still in circulation. The coin itself is a reminder of an important time in American history, but there's more to it than just being a relic of the past. The 1945 wheat penny is famous for its design. On the front, it features Abraham Lincoln's profile, a design that has become an emblem of American history. But flip the coin over, and you'll find two bundles of wheat stalks framing the number 1. It's a beautiful and symbolic design that represents the country's agricultural roots. However, this coin became even more special as time passed. So, what makes the 1945 wheat penny so valuable? The key factor here is rarity, and more importantly, the condition in which it survives today. You see, while these pennies were made in relatively large numbers, they didn't all make it through the years unscathed. Over time, many of them were worn down from circulation, lost in pockets, or damaged in various ways. Finding one that is in excellent condition is incredibly rare, and it's the kind of find that collectors dream about. But there's more. Some 1945 wheat pennies have unique characteristics that make them stand out even more. Some of these pennies have minting errors that were made during the production process. These mistakes could include anything from doubled die errors to unusual strikes that were never intended by the mint. Error coins are like treasure maps in the coin world. They are unique, one-of-a-kind pieces that can be worth much more than their face value. Imagine finding a 1945 penny with a rare minting error. Those are the coins that can fetch some truly impressive prices at auctions and among collectors. Let's talk about what sets these coins apart. A few of the most sought-after 1945 wheat pennies feature a double die error, which means that the coin was struck twice, causing certain details on the design to appear blurry or doubled. The most famous of these is the 1945 double die penny, where Lincoln's date and some of the lettering are noticeably duplicated. This error alone makes the coin incredibly valuable and highly prized by collectors around the world. But what's even more fascinating is that these rare errors can drastically change the value of the coin. A regular 1945 wheat penny is worth just a few cents in average condition, but if you happen to have one with a double die error or any other rare feature, it could be worth much more than you ever imagined. Some of these rare 1945 pennies have sold for thousands of dollars, and in some exceptional cases, even more. Now, for the big reveal. If you happen to have a 1945 wheat penny with the right characteristics, whether it's in pristine, uncirculated condition or possesses a rare minting error, your coin could be worth a jaw-dropping $59,000. That's right, $59,000 for a single penny. It's unbelievable, but it's true. So, if you've got a jar of old coins or have been holding onto some wheat pennies from the past, it's time to check them closely. You never know, what seems like a small, ordinary coin could turn out to be a hidden gem worth a small fortune. Top 2, we're about to talk about a coin that might just surprise you, the 1949 wheat penny. This unassuming little penny could hold more value than you might imagine, and if you have one, you'll definitely want to pay attention to this video. The 1949 wheat penny might look like any other penny you've seen, but don't let its appearance fool you. Let's take a step back in time to 1949. The world was recovering from the aftermath of World War II, and the United States was entering a period of great prosperity. The 1949 wheat penny was produced during this time as part of the U.S. Mint's regular coinage production. However, the history behind this penny and the potential for its value today is what makes it truly fascinating. What makes this coin so special? Well, it all comes down to a combination of rarity, condition, and certain unique features that set the 1949 wheat penny apart from the rest of the pack. While the Mint produced millions of these pennies in 1949, many of them have disappeared over time due to wear, damage, or being lost. But a select few have survived in excellent condition, making them highly desirable to collectors. Now, let's talk about something really exciting: mint errors. Minting errors can dramatically increase the value of a coin, and the 1949 wheat penny is no exception. Some of these pennies contain incredibly rare mistakes that make them stand out. These errors can range from a slight doubling of the design, creating a double die effect, to unusual minting flaws like off-center strikes or misaligned dies. These rare errors can make your 1949 penny worth far more than its face value. Double die errors, in particular, are highly coveted in the coin collecting world. If you happen to have a 1949 wheat penny with this error, you could be holding onto a rare treasure. The doubled features, especially on the date and lettering, create a unique, blurry effect that collectors can't get enough of. These double die coins are often sold for thousands of dollars, with some selling at auctions for incredible prices. And if the coin has been kept in uncirculated condition, its value can skyrocket even further, but the rarity doesn't stop there. Some 1949 wheat pennies feature an unusual patina or slight design variations that make them even more unique. Coins with distinctive features like these can be incredibly valuable to collectors who are looking for something that stands out. The more unique the coin, the more appealing it becomes in the eyes of those who are passionate about coin collecting. So, how much could your 1949 wheat penny be worth? The answer might just blow your mind. If you have a 1949 wheat penny in excellent condition, or better yet, one that contains a rare minting error, it could be worth an astounding $69,000. That's right, $69,000 for a single penny. It's hard to believe, but this is the kind of value that certain rare coins can bring, and it's the reason why collectors are always on the lookout for these hidden gems. If you've got a collection of old pennies or you've come across a 1949 wheat penny while cleaning out your coin jar, it's definitely worth taking a closer look. You never know, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Imagine the excitement of discovering that your humble penny could fetch tens of thousands of dollars in the right market. So, what should you do next? Take a moment to check your coins, especially if they're from the 1940s. Look for signs of mint errors, unusual wear, or that perfect uncirculated condition. If you find a 1949 wheat penny that stands out, it could be your ticket to a small fortune. Top 3. Diving into a coin that you might have seen before, but you probably had no idea how much it could be worth. I'm talking about the 1982 1-cent coin, commonly known as the Lincoln penny. This little piece of history could be worth much more than its face value, so if you've got one tucked away in your collection or in a jar somewhere, stick around because you're about to find out just how valuable this coin could be. First off, let's talk about the year 1982. This was an important year for the U.S. Mint. During this time, the United States was transitioning from the classic copper composition to a more modern copper-plated zinc design for pennies. Why does this matter? Well, some of the 1982 pennies were struck using the older copper composition, while others were made with the new zinc mix. This change in materials makes the 1982 penny stand out, especially among collectors, because it marks the end of an era in penny production. Now, you might be wondering, what makes a 1982 penny worth so much? Great question. The key to the 1982 penny's value is a combination of rarity, composition, and certain minting errors that happened during production. There were actually two major variations of the 1982 penny, one that is made of copper, and another that is made of zinc. If you're lucky enough to find a copper 1982 penny in great condition, you could be holding onto something quite rare. But wait, there's more. Some of these 1982 pennies were struck with errors that make them even more valuable. Minting errors, like off-center strikes or double die errors, can make a coin much more desirable to collectors. If you happen to find a 1982 penny with these errors, it could be worth far more than its regular counterparts. The most famous error in the 1982 pennies is the close date variety. This coin has a distinctive characteristic where the digits in the year 1982 are much closer together than usual. This simple yet unique feature can dramatically increase the value of the coin. The coin itself is also unique because the transition from copper to zinc happened in just 1 year, making 1982 a rare moment in U.S. coinage history. While most pennies after 1982 were made from zinc, the copper ones are particularly sought after. Because the copper pennies were phased out in 1982, they're much rarer and can fetch higher prices on the market. If you happen to come across a 1982 penny with an error, especially the copper variant, you're in for a treat. Condition is also a key factor in determining the value of the coin. A penny that's been well preserved, free from corrosion or wear, will be worth far more than one that's seen heavy circulation. So, keeping your coins in great shape could pay off big time. Alright, you've been waiting for it, so let's get to the good part. Just how much could a 1982 penny be worth? If you have one of those rare copper 1982 pennies, especially one with an error like the close date variety, your penny could be worth an astounding $49,000. Yes, you heard that right, $49,000 for a single penny. Can you imagine finding one of these little treasures in your collection? That's the kind of excitement coin collectors dream about, so, if you've got any 1982 pennies laying around or stashed away, it's definitely worth checking them closely. You might just have a small fortune sitting in your pocket change. Make sure to keep an eye out for those unique features and minting errors that could make your coin more valuable. Top 4, we're talking about a coin that you might overlook, the 1971 Lincoln cent, or more commonly known as the 1-cent coin. It might seem like a regular penny, but trust me, this particular coin has some surprising value that could blow your mind. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll be checking your change like never before. Let's set the stage for 1971. This was a year of transformation in the US and around the world. The US economy was adjusting to post-Vietnam and shifting global dynamics. The US Mint, meanwhile, was churning out billions of coins to meet the growing demand for currency. This was also the year the US government switched up coin designs, and some of the changes in this era would lead to the creation of some seriously valuable coins that collectors are constantly searching for. Now, what makes the 1971 Lincoln penny so special? For one, it's the last year the US Mint produced pennies in the classic copper composition before they switched to a new, cheaper, and lighter material. This means that the 1971 penny holds a unique place in history, and any well-preserved coin from this time has become more valuable as time has gone on. But here's the kicker, the real value of the 1971 penny isn't just its composition, it's all about the rarity and any errors that may have happened during its production. You see, like many coins, the 1971 penny wasn't perfect. Minting errors, especially those that are caused by misaligned dies, doubled strikes, or off-center strikes, can make a huge difference in a coin's value. The 1971 penny is no exception. For example, the double die error, where the features of the coin are struck twice, could cause a dramatic increase in value. This error is particularly sought after because it can result in an image that appears blurry or with certain features doubled, making the coin more attractive to collectors who love to find these rare variations. But wait, there's more. The 1971 Lincoln penny was also part of a transition that was taking place within the US Mint, and some of these pennies were struck on the wrong type of metal or weren't aligned properly. These coins, with their slight mistakes, are the ones that can go for big money. And just like any rare mistake, the more unusual and unique the error, the more valuable the coin becomes. A penny that was made with an off-center strike, or has any unusual minting flaw, can be worth much more than its mere face value. Now, here's the part that's going to get you really excited. What is the value of the 1971 Lincoln penny today? Well, if you happen to have a 1971 penny in pristine condition, or even better, one with a rare minting error like a double die or off-center strike, you could be looking at a coin worth an impressive $53,000. Yes, you heard that right, $53,000 for a single penny. This is the kind of coin collectors would pay top dollar for, especially if it has an error that makes it stand out from the rest. So, how can you tell if your 1971 penny is worth that much? It all comes down to the condition and any unique features. If the penny is in great shape, free from wear and tear, and has any minting error that makes it different from others, you could have a rare gem on your hands. Take a close look at your 1971 pennies and see if you notice any mistakes in the design. That slight doubling or off-center strike could be your ticket to a small fortune. Don't forget, coin collectors are always on the lookout for rare pieces like these, so if you happen to find one, it could be worth much more than you expect. If you've been saving pennies or happen to stumble upon one from 1971, don't just toss it aside. Take a moment to check it carefully, you might just have a valuable coin hiding in plain sight. Top 5 and last penny coin, I've got a special treat for you. We're diving into a coin that many people overlook, but it holds a secret value that could blow your mind. I'm talking about the 1960 Lincoln cent, yes, the humble penny. You might be wondering, how could something so small and seemingly insignificant be worth so much? Well, stick around because by the end of this video, you'll be running to check your coin jar to see if you have this hidden gem. The year 1960 was a key moment in U.S. coinage history. The U.S. Mint was dealing with some big changes. For instance, the 1960 penny was part of the transition between older coin designs and the updated, modern look that came later. While most people don't think twice about a penny from this era, the 1960 Lincoln cent is actually one of those coins that holds potential for rare finds, especially if you know what to look for. But here's the kicker, there were some minting errors in 1960 that could turn an ordinary penny into a valuable collector's item. Let's start with the basics. The 1960 penny was made of 95% copper, making it one of the last few pennies before the switch to a different alloy in the 1980s. This alone makes the 1960 penny special. It's a little piece of history because it was produced just before the shift to a different composition. But wait, it gets even better. There were some coins struck in 1960 with unique and rare minting errors that can make them worth a lot more than the standard penny. One of the most sought-after errors in 1960 pennies is the double die variety. A double die error happens when the coin die, the metal stamp used to strike the design, gets misaligned. This results in certain features on the coin being duplicated or doubled. If you closely examine the date or the word Liberty on the 1960 penny, and you spot some extra lines or shadows, you might have a double die error on your hands. Coins with this type of error are much rarer than regular pennies, and they're highly prized by collectors who are always on the lookout for these rare varieties. Another variation of the 1960 penny is the small date versus large date difference. You see, there were actually two different designs of the year 1960 that were minted in that year. One version has a small date, where the digits in the year are close together, and the other has a large date, where the digits are spaced farther apart. The small date version, especially if it has other signs of being well preserved, is much more desirable because it's rarer than the large date version. Collectors love the small date coins, and if you happen to have one in near perfect condition, you could be looking at a valuable find. The 1960 penny isn't just a piece of history, it's a coin that can really get collectors excited, especially when you find one with a unique minting error or an unusual feature. These small details make all the difference when it comes to determining the value of the coin. So, now you're probably wondering, how much could a 1960 penny be worth? Well, if you have a 1960 penny with a double die error, or one with a small date in pristine condition, you could be holding onto a coin worth an incredible $63,000. Yes, $63,000 for a single penny. That's not a typo. This could be life-changing money just for one small coin that you may have overlooked in the past. So, what should you do now? Head to your coin jar, your change drawer, or wherever you keep your pennies, and carefully inspect them. Look for that small date versus large date variation or check for any signs of a double die error. A penny from 1960 with these special characteristics could be sitting right under your nose, waiting to make you a small fortune. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare and valuable coins, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future discoveries. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting.